The city was small and quiet. It stood beside a wide river where ships passed slowly every day. In the morning, fishermen prepared their boats. In the afternoon, children rode their bicycles in the narrow streets. At night, lights turned off early, and silence covered the houses like a soft blanket. Everyone knew everyone. If a window broke, 3 neighbors came to help. If someone was sick, food appeared at their door without a word. It was not a rich city. It was not famous. But it was home. Lina was 16 years old. She loved sitting on the roof of her building, watching the water shine under the sun. She dreamed of traveling one day, of seeing big cities full of noise and tall buildings. "Nothing ever happens here," she used to say. Her father would smile. "Peace is something that happens," he would answer. One evening, the air felt different. There were no clouds, but the sky seemed heavy. The streets were quieter than usual. Adults spoke in low voices. Radios were turned on inside houses. Windows were opened, then quickly closed again. Lina noticed her mother standing still in the kitchen, holding a cup of tea that had already gone cold. "What's wrong?" Lina asked. Her mother forced a small smile. "Nothing. Just stay close tonight." That night, no one slept. Lights stayed on in every house. Shadows moved behind curtains. The sound of distant thunder rolled across the dark sky, except it wasn't thunder. It was something else. Lina sat next to her little brother, Sammy. He was only 8 years old, but he understood enough to feel afraid. "Is it a storm?" he whispered. "Yes," Lina said softly, "just a storm." But her hands were shaking. Her father stood near the window, looking outside. The street was empty, yet full of tension. A group of neighbors stood together at the corner, speaking quickly. No one was alone. Time moved slowly. Minutes felt like hours. At midnight, the electricity went out. The city fell into darkness. For a second, there was complete silence. The kind of silence that makes your heart beat louder. Then candles began to appear in windows. One by one, a small light here, another there. Soon, the entire street was glowing with tiny flames. Lina watched in amazement. Even in the dark, the city refused to disappear. Her father finally stepped away from the window and sat beside them. "Are we going to lose our home?" Sammy asked, his voice trembling. Her father looked at him carefully. His face was tired, but his eyes were calm. "No," he said gently. "Homes are not only walls and doors. A home is the people who protect each other." Outside, the distant sounds grew louder, then softer, then louder again. The night felt endless. At some point, someone started singing. It was an old woman who lived across the street. Her voice was not strong, but it was steady. A simple song everyone knew from childhood. Another voice joined her. Then another. Soon, the entire street was singing in the darkness. Not loudly, not proudly, but bravely. Lina felt something change inside her. Earlier that evening, she had wished for excitement, for something different from the quiet life she knew. Now she understood something she had never seen before. This city was not boring, it was not because it had tall buildings or powerful machines, but because when fear arrived, people stood together. Around 3 in the morning, there was a loud sound, close enough to shake the windows. Semi cried out, and Lina held him tightly. Her mother closed her eyes and whispered a prayer. Her father stood up again, but this time he did not look afraid. He looked determined. Through the window, Lina saw neighbors moving quickly, helping an elderly man whose door had broken. 2 young men carried water. Someone brought blankets. No one ran away. They moved toward each other. The night continued like that, waves of fear, followed by waves of courage. Just before dawn, the sounds finally stopped. Not slowly, suddenly, as if the night had decided it was finished. No one moved at first. The sky began to turn gray. Birds, confused but alive, started to sing. A thin line of light appeared above the river. Carefully, doors opened. People stepped outside. The street looked different. There were broken pieces of wood, dust in the air, and cracks in a few walls. But the city was still standing. The river was still flowing. The houses were still there. Lina walked outside with her family. Neighbors hugged each other without speaking. Some were crying, not from sadness, but from relief. They had made it through the night. The old woman who had started the singing smiled at Lina. "You see," she said softly, "morning always comes." Lina looked at the sun rising over the water. It was the same sun she had watched 1,000 times before, but everything felt new. She no longer dreamed of escaping her small city. She understood it now. Peace was not the absence of fear. It was the decision to stand together when fear arrived. That night changed her. Years later, when people ask her why she loved her hometown so much, she would simply say, "Because I saw it in the dark," and she would remember the candles in the windows, the quiet singing in the streets, and the moment she realized that strength does not always shout. Sometimes it stays awake.